So, what can a sales book from 1952 possibly teach us today? Well, as it turns out, pretty much everything that actually matters. Today, we're going to open a time capsule of sales wisdom. It's called Open the Mind and Close the Sale. And we're going to pull out some powerful, career shaping lessons that'll help you not just sell, but really serve and succeed. I mean, this quote from the book's updated preface really says it all, doesn't it? Look, technology, markets, the tools we use, sure, they've all been completely transformed. But the fundamentals of human connection, of professional persuasion, those things are constant. We're about to explore principles that have proven their worth for over 70 years. All right, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll start with the core philosophy of selling. Then we'll get into mastering your craft, understanding the customer's mind, making the most of your day, and finally, we'll wrap up with what your true responsibility is as a professional. Okay, let's start right at the foundation. What's the single most important mindset you need to have if you want to become a top sales pro? This is it. This is the core lesson of the entire book. See, professional selling isn't about pushing a product or manipulating a decision. It's a profession that is centered completely on serving the customer's needs. If you want to advance in your career, this is probably the biggest mindset shift you have to make. I want you to think of yourself like this person here. You are the bridge. You're the one creating a lasting, valuable connection between what your company offers and what your customer actually needs. You're not just some vendor, you're a relationship builder. Okay, so if selling is serving, that's great. But how do you actually get good at it? Well, the answer lies in mastering your craft. You know, the book gives us this really clear path for growth. It's not about being a born salesperson. It's about a structured process. First, you got to master the basic principles. Second, you develop your own selling plan. And third, you gain deep, deep knowledge of your product. Mastery is something that is built, not something you're born with. But, a framework is one thing. It needs a solid foundation to sit on. So what personal qualities does a professional really need to work on to succeed within that structure? And here they are, the big three. And you can't really have one without the others. I mean, you can't sell without knowledge. But all the knowledge in the world is useless without a willingness to work hard. And all your hard work only pays off if you can sell yourself. And by that, I mean earn the prospect's trust, because only then will they listen to you with an open mind. All right, now that we've got our own professional foundation in place, let's shift our focus from you to the most important person in the room, your customer. A one-size-fits-all pitch? It's just doomed to fail. The book really hammers this home. Your first step in any sales conversation is to diagnose. You have to classify who you're talking to. Are they impulsive or are they deliberate? Do they need data and facts or do they respond better to stories and relationships? Figuring out their style is the very first step to connecting with them. And that leaves us to what the author himself considered the single most valuable lesson in the entire book. He believed that if you really grasped this one concept, it could be a total turning point in your career. And here it is. This is the key to opening the mind. Yeah, facts and logic are important. They're tools in your toolkit. But the sale? The sale is ultimately made in the heart. Your job is to connect with what the prospect truly wants, their desires, and then show them how your product gets them there. If you can connect to their will, you will open their mind. Now, applying all these principles of service and connection, well, none of it works if you can't manage your most precious, non-renewable resource. I love how the book reframes this. It doesn't talk about managing time. It talks about investing it. You have a finite account of about 100,000 productive hours in your entire career. That's it. So every hour you waste is a permanent loss of capital. The best pros invest their hours with purpose to generate a real return. And this idea of investing your time wisely brings us to our final section, which is all about the ultimate responsibility of a sales professional, and it goes way beyond just hitting a quota. You have to remember this. To your customers, you are the company. Every single interaction either builds up or tears down your brand's goodwill. Losing a single order? That's a setback. But losing goodwill? That's a catastrophe that can take years to repair. This brings us full circle to a really simple but profound truth. A successful career isn't about grinding through tasks you hate. It's about committing to mastering your craft, to becoming truly excellent. Because when you know you do something well, you enjoy it. And that enjoyment, that fuels even more success. Ultimately, this whole timeless guide boils down to one powerful idea. Who sells best serves best. It's not just about what you sell, but how you sell and who you are when you're doing it. So the real question this book leaves us with is a personal one. Armed with these principles, how are you going to choose to serve?